Hi, it's Taylor T. Carlson, and I'm back with another video for you. Today we're going to do a movie review on the channel. I don't really do a whole lot of these because most of the movie reviews I do are written, but I wanted to take a look at a pretty entertaining movie that came out a few years ago. This is called American Satan. Great little rock and roll movie. Definitely not Oscar material, but certainly something that is worth looking into if you're a fan of rock and roll films, deals with the devil, and movies that aren't afraid to go for that hard R rating. The film is directed by Ash Avildsen. He's the son of late director John G. Avildsen, best known for his work on the Rocky and Karate Kid franchises. The film stars Andy Biersack from the real-life band Black Veil Brides, but there's a who's who of actors in this movie as well. I'm going to have to take a look at everyone so I make sure I don't leave anyone out. There's also Ben Bruce from Asking Alexandria, Boo Boo Stewart, Malcolm McDowell, Mark Boone Jr., Jesse Sullivan, Denise Richards, Bill Goldberg, yes, the wrestler, Olivia Culpo, Sebastian Gregory, and John Bradley. There's a pretty big cast here, so I may have left out a few people, but those are the key ones, and I'm deeply sorry if I mispronounced or miswrote anybody's name. The film follows the lives of a group of musicians. Half of them are from the Midwest in America, and then half of them are from England, and they've just known each other online for years. They finally meet up in real life, move out to Hollywood, and of course chase their rock and roll dreams, but as they quickly find, with so many other bands trying to make a go of things, it's no easy task. A mysterious stranger keeps showing up and eventually offers the band a mysterious deal which requires a human sacrifice, which, being desperate, they're more than happy to provide. And it's not long before things start turning around and going their way, but in true sex, drugs, and rock and roll fashion, things start spiraling way out of control. Is there any way that they can escape from this deal with the devil that they've made, or are they doomed to go down the highway to hell? Like I said at the beginning of this review, this film is certainly not Oscar material. Some of the characters do feel a little interchangeable and one-dimensional. However, it's definitely a movie that keeps you on the edge of your seat because you often just don't know what's coming next, and there are some pretty shocking things to be experienced here. It's definitely a hard R-rated film, and there were a few pretty risque scenes, and I'm almost surprised this didn't get an NC-17 rating. It's definitely a thrilling film, and even though it's a work of fiction and there are some fantasy elements of sorts, they never really blow things too out of proportion. Most of this movie, aside from the proverbial deal with the devil that we mentioned earlier, feels like it really could happen. I mean, you deal with issues like drug addiction, cheating. You have people that are influenced by the band to stand their ground and not take any nonsense from bullies. And there's definitely interesting messages to be experienced here. And the movie doesn't really take a side. We definitely see, both sides of this aspect. I mean, should you stand up for yourself and use lethal force if you're in danger? And admittedly, that's not really the primary focus of the film, but there are parts in this movie that will have you talking and definitely leave you wondering about a lot of things. The soundtrack for the film features a variety of old and new songs. I definitely recognize tunes from groups like Slaughter and Skid Row. Although there was a lot of music written for the movie, Andy Biersack actually doesn't do the singing in the movie due to a rights issue, and his singing voice is dubbed by another musician. However, the original songs they've put in this movie, even though it's not really my preferred genre, they actually sound very good. One of the musicians who worked on the film was Jonathan Davis of Korn. And there were definitely a lot of very talented people involved behind the scenes here. And despite there being a lot of things that aren't really too well fleshed out or developed, and an ending that's a little messy and maybe a little too ambiguous, overall, the people that were hired to play parts in this movie do an excellent job. The single best performance in this film, of course, comes from Malcolm McDowell. You probably remember him best as Alex from Clockwork Orange back in the early 70s, but Here he plays the proverbial devil figure who gives the band the deal that they can't possibly resist. And there's plenty of great supporting performances, including Denise Richards as the main musician character's mother, and Mark Boone Jr., who I always found to be a very underrated actor as the head of a record label. The movie is maybe about 15 minutes too long, and it does tend to lose a little bit of momentum near the end, but throughout, it's definitely going to keep you on the edge of your seat. Again, it's not the kind of movie that's going to win Academy Awards, but if you want thrilling entertainment that'll keep you on the edge of your seat and keep you guessing throughout, even if it's not done in the most professional or polished of ways, the film definitely does its job. I could definitely see this becoming like a cult classic or a midnight movie in the years to come. There are also plans for a television series based on this movie. I'm not really sure if it's supposed to be more of a remake or a sequel, and the show is going to be called, I wrote this down, Paradise City. Appropriate title for something that's set primarily in Hollywood, so I'll definitely be checking that out when it comes out, and I might even do a review for that as well. When this movie was in theaters, I think the release that it had was pretty limited. I remember at the time there was only like one theater in Las Vegas showing it, and I actually had to go to like a 10 p.m. screening on a work night, but I'm kind of glad I did because I discovered what's definitely become something of a guilty pleasure cult favorite of mine. This is the Blu-ray disc right here. For some reason, they put this in a DVD-sized package. It's actually a combo pack that comes with a DVD disc, but I wish that, put it in a Blu-ray style case so it's the same shape as everything else in my collection. Here's the spine, and then there's the back cover. The cover is kind of a mess because nowhere on the package does it say that there's a Blu-ray in here, except on a sticker that was on the original shrink wrap. When I first got this in the mail, I thought I'd been sent the DVD version by mistake, and if not for that sticker, I probably would have ended up sending this back for a refund or the proper version, not knowing that I actually had the proper version. Another issue I have with the case here is that the writing, if you can see that there, it's like pretty small. It looks like someone almost made that part of the cover at home on their printer, and if it's ever too small that I can't read the names, that's definitely an issue and a bit of a disservice to anyone involved. Inside the case here, there's the actual disc, and then over here there's a few things. This is actually a sticker. I haven't put it on anything yet just because I kind of like keeping that in the package, and then on the back there's just an ad for the movie. Claims that it was shown at AMC theaters, although I actually saw it at a Regal theater. I think that's the only place in Vegas that was showing it. And then there's also this thank you for your support card. I don't really know what this is about. I don't know if the movie was backed on Kickstarter or what. Maybe these people were backers. And then right here, this is an ad for the soundtrack album. Given that this was something of an independent film, I'm actually impressed by how good the actual movie on the Blu-ray disc looks. There's also a decent number of special features, including deleted and extended scenes. There's 2 interview clips and a few other little things, including a collection of the trailers for the film. I'm glad to see they didn't just slap the movie on a disc, and overall, despite the packaging gaffes that I have, this is actually a very good Blu-ray disc, and it does justice to the movie. Have you had a chance to see American Satan? Are you going to be checking out the Paradise City follow-up TV series when it comes out? Let me know in the comment section below if you've seen this movie, and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to my channel and give the video a like. I'm Taylor T. Carlson, and I will be seeing you in my next video.